Hey everyone, my name's Andy. I'm from the Finding Value Finance channel. Today we've got Casper with us. That's Uselink, and I do want to pull up his webpage so everybody can see it real quick. This is his Twitter page. It's at UselinkINV. And definitely, guys, you got to subscribe. He's almost at 3,000 followers, so we got to get him over the hump, get him up over 3,000, so he can clear that milestone on the Twitter account. So
Yes, yes, yes.
that's a good thing. So Casper, thanks for coming back on. I really appreciate it. And how about we talk about uranium? Because the month is closing here. We're at September 30th, and it looks like uranium, at least some of the companies, we'll call it the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, that thing was killing it into closing of this month and in closing of the day.
At the
So
quarter up
what do you?
also. Yeah.
Yep. What are you seeing? What are you seeing in the charts there?
Yeah, I was just noting, the last 15 minutes of trading into the close for the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, and I just saw this massive volume spike. It was first afterwards that I read that it was the URNM rebalancing, but still, if if you look at the chart, maybe I can pull one up here. Just it's very simple. It's not something where there it is, your screen. Okay, here it is. Okay, it's very simple, right? But it's the last hour of trading here in the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, and you can see that the volume is just 20 times more the hourly average, which is it's not something that you and I can do, right? It's either it's big money, or in this case, it was the ETF that was buying the shares up. But definitely that was a very big
On
price action into the close. Very good. So
on that time scale though, from the 26th, you've got that big, large, bullish engulfing green candlestick on the 26th.
yeah,
That big guy there, that's where that momentum started. And it's good that we got a nice strong closing into that as well and finished right at the top with that. So that's the chart action looks really good from the 26th onward.
yeah, that's Monday as well. So that's
Yep.
so this is the entire week. So it's a very strong week for the
For Sprott.
for the Sprott. Yeah, very good.
Which is and why is it important that we finish so strong? I mean, that's momentum, right? It's
Yeah,
momentum that could carry forward.
exactly. And also, if you look at is it still okay at the screen? I guess it's okay, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
good.
awesome. You can see here if you put up the weekly candle, right? As we talked about, this was the low from the Monday on the hourly, and then you have
Mm-hmm.
the close. So more or less, we opened at the exact bottom and closed almost at the exact top here. So this is a very strong candle, which usually leads to follow through the next week.
Yep.
Um, and uh, and yeah, if in my view, if we can take out this level here for this since May, we have head and shoulders in what's it called in technical terms, right? We have
It look
the shoulder
it,
down
it
here.
looks like
Sorry.
a looks almost like a cup and handle too.
Yeah, it could be as well.
To
Yeah,
some
exactly.
degree. It's
Yeah,
oh yeah, an inverted head and shoulders.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And uh, and if you want to do a simple measure of this move, if we are lucky to get that breakout, right, we have a somewhat of a target here for some time in the future at 21 something. So so this is very
I,
constructive, but still we have to wait to break the neckline as we always have to wait for. So
here we go. So we have a inverted head and shoulders. It looks good. We have a good week that we finished strong. We finished into closing strong with high volume, which could indicate a move that could continue into next week, which is good. So, what are some downsides here though that we're seeing in the markets? That we've got uranium. It looks really strong, but there are some concerns, I think, with the overall stock market, right?
yeah, I totally agree. Also, as we talked about just before we went on, I mean, the overall stock market looks looks really sick. I mean, it's right on the tipping point to do some not so great things, right? As you can see,
Yeah.
this is the the last, what is it, almost 2 years, and for the first time in like, I don't know for how long actually, for like 13 years, we're actually closing below the 200 weekly moving average. So if we start to go further down here, I mean, I think we could have a major spill in the Nasdaq, and that will drag down, like that could drag down uranium as well. And I think in order to avoid that, we need to have the spot price go up in uranium. I think that will counter this momentum down, but yeah, the overall market doesn't look good at all. So
Yeah, the S&P 500 looks like dog junk.
yeah,
It
it
does
does.
not. Yeah, that is something I would not be getting optimistic about. You know, I'm optimistic about uranium. I'm optimistic about oil, natural gas, and all these other commodities. I look at the overall markets and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that looks like pure decimation when I see how. And the reason I say that, guys, is you got the big candlesticks like that. He's got that on I think it's a weekly chart,
Yeah,
and
it's weekly. Yeah,
the weekly candlesticks are just pop, pop, pop with lots of momentum, and they're finishing very strong each week to the
yeah,
downside. So the momentum is alive and well. Um,
yeah. Yeah, if you
yep,
close at the lower 50% of a candle, right, it's usually a sign that we probably have further downside next week, or the candle afterwards if you're looking at the daily or the monthly. So yeah,
yep,
it doesn't look good. So
yeah,
oh,
wicks aren't too bad when you get the big wick, like you said.
also look
Yeah,
at the monthly, right? It's yeah, it's
it's garbage.
it is.
It's
It really is.
it's garbage. Yeah, and I think yeah, I keep looking at the markets and I keep going back to energy almost entirely.
Yeah.
what about precious metals? What are your thoughts on precious metals right now? It looks
Actually
like
they
they're yeah,
they had a really good week actually.
yeah.
And also I made a tweet like, I don't know, a few weeks ago, if I can find the correct one. Yeah, this one right here. I think I wrote something like, if you're bullish on uranium, you should be bullish on the gold and silver miners as well, because the relation between, you know, the ETF and the underlying metal is just more or less 1-to-1, right? And we have seen, you know, the gold and silver miners do very well this week, and uranium also to some degree.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm very bullish on the miners as well here, and I think if you look at gold and silver, what they have done, you know, in the past week or two, it has been very resilient towards any downside pressure, even though people still hate it. But that's just music to my ears. So yeah, gold and silver miners are doing very well as well. Very good.
Yeah, I agree. I think the metals are looking a little bit better. Have you ever
Mhm.
looked at the TYX divided by TNX ratio, which is the 30-year yield versus the 10-year? And I was
Yeah.
playing around with
Yeah.
that, and what it and if you were to overlay that with gold, it's pretty crazy how well that the movements correlate with each other. It's pretty crazy. And if you look at the TYX to TNX and kind of a long term, or you know, the long term,
Yeah.
we are very, very low in that relationship. So think of it about the way that I kind of think of it is it's the we are charting the free market and the inversion of that curve and how the curve is moving. Think of it that way.
Hmm.
And I noticed that there's a strong relationship here, and I'm sure you can see that relationship.
Yeah.
If everyone kind of, yeah, you blow some of these things up, you can see that relationship.
I'm trying
And
to, yeah, like this.
whenever the TYX is so low in relationship to TNX, so when that ratio goes real low, it seems like to me that that's a really good time to accumulate like gold and silver. These are very highly correlated to gold and silver. It might
Yeah.
not be as correlated to platinum. Platinum kind of trades on its own accord. So yeah, I don't know if you've noticed that or if you've looked at this before or anything.
No, I haven't looked at it
Haven't?
that much. I saw it in one of your videos like a week ago or so.
Yep.
So I kind of digged into it a bit, but haven't done any studies or anything. But yeah, it is true. I mean, it is something that you can use to have one more, let's say, confirmation for your if you are bullish on something. It's always good to have several others way of confirming your your thesis, right? So this is one way to go, and I agree that we could be at a tipping point or bottoming pattern here for this ratio and the correlation. So yeah, I agree. But I haven't used it to anything, so yeah.
So that's the correlation there between the two. We're very low, and what we're wanting to do is bottom out and turn on up. So that means that the yield curve, it goes inverted and then it uninverts. And when it uninverts, that's when gold goes boom,
Yeah, exactly. And that's
takes off.
also often when the overall stock markets, take the big dump, let's say.
Yeah,
So yeah.
it may take some time for that dump to occur though,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it uninverted in 2006, I think, last time. And then it took like a year or two of that uninversion where gold started to really take off.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is true. Yeah, yeah. You have the uninversion right here, It took
Yep.
yeah, as you mentioned, like 2.5 years or so. So
Yeah. It took a little
yeah.
while for it to uninvert, and then the poop hit the fan,
Yeah.
and then they reflated, and then it took off again because that TNX to TYX, that relationship still was favorable.
Yeah.
And that was a very large move. So I every time I see it so low, like where it's at, that's where I'm like, all right, got to buy some physical metals. That's me
Yeah,
though.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
I just kind of cost average in. If it goes a little lower, that's fine. I'm not too worried. Um, so you like precious metals then? You like uranium now, or do you think it's a little too early?
yeah. I still think we need to have the spot market, go up before we can really decouple, as I mentioned.
Mhm.
Because if the price of uranium stays at where it is right now, and we might have for the next month or so, we have a 10% drop in Nasdaq and the S&P. I think uranium will follow, unfortunately. But so I think we need to have some help from the metal itself before we can do anything.
What
Anything.
other commodities are you following right now that might look kind of good right this second?
Yeah, I think we talked about it last time as well, but platinum is it's still, this giant sleeper, I guess you can call it. It's still it's still waiting, it's still teasing a bit, but I think once this will go, it will go big time. And I think I know everyone is bullish about silver, me included, but I think, platinum in like
Mhm.
5 years time will make people wonder, wow, what I missed that one, right? Because it's just an amazing setup, and you had the exact same setup, like 30 years ago. So once this
Yep.
starts to really pop, I mean, it will be a very good investment. I'm sure.
Yeah, you seem pretty bullish. I think you're very similar to me in I'm bullish platinum. I don't really put too much of a predictive price. I don't really do any of that. But I know that you've got some predictions
Hmm.
on it, and I don't know if you want to share that or not, but it looks good from a ratio perspective. That's what I always look at and saying like this thing is dirt cheap against almost everything.
Yeah, it does. It
Uh,
really does. Yeah. It's
so
maybe it might only be uranium that is that looks
a little
better.
cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to find the exact ticker here. 1 second, because I think uh, if I can. Uh,
Is it in dollars or
yeah, it's in dollars, but it's one of them that goes further back. Is it Saxo? No, it's fucked up. I can
was
see
it the
this.
top one? Oh, and
No, it only goes back
no.
to. Just give me 1 second here, because I have a target of around. Yeah, it sounds crazy, I know, but 7,500.
Hey, I
But
like
really,
that target. I like it. If it gets there, I will be incredibly happy.
Yes, I know. Given how much physical you have, and I
Yes.
know that number, so it's it's pretty.
Please.
Do I need to try platinum? I think. Sorry for taking so long here.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, you're trying to get a long-term chart so you can see all the data. And then did you tie the tops, do like the tops of it all or something?
Yeah, here it is. I can see my drawings are missing, but it doesn't matter. I can quickly make a
Yeah,
some sort of a.
it's like the same fractal.
Yeah, it is
I've
actually.
I've analyzed this quite a bit.
Yeah. So we have this, as you mentioned, it is more or less the same happening from the 80s till, yeah, 2001 more or less, right?
Yep.
And all I can see is that you will get, hopefully you will get the exact same uh the more or less the exact same move up, right? So if you draw like this, then you will get to at least where is it? You should get to at least,
Fourish. Yes.
yeah, at least. But if you draw the parallel trend channel, which I tried to do at the start here, I think you could actually go a lot further because of the way everything is right now. So you could easily get to uh, to something like, yeah, 7,000 or
7
so.
grand.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if you measure
Please.
this move here, you have yeah 400%.
426.
Yeah, and if you just lay that on top here, you can see you will get somewhere in between, yeah, 3,500 to 7,000. So you can do your own analysis, but yeah, so my bullish target is, yeah, 7,000, 8,000 ish at a max. But
And that's that's on logarithmic, right? I
yeah,
think.
exactly.
Yep.
I think when you look on such a big time scale, I think you need to do
Agreed.
it on logarithmic. Same goes for currencies and so on, because yeah, I think that's how you need to do it, because otherwise you won't be able to see the entire formation and so on.
Would you say that platinum and uranium have the best risk reward in the markets that you see right now?
Um, yes, but also together with silver. But I think silver will be the latecomer to the when platinum starts to go and gold. Then at the end of of this move, we will see silver outperform everything else at the end. But until then, uranium, energy, um, and platinum will do very good. So, and often
And
you
what?
actually see you see platinum often, get start ahead of the other metals as well.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm hoping.
yeah,
Because I'm hoping I can ride the platinum train all the way to some ridiculous ratio, swap it to silver, and then ride the silver train.
yeah,
That
that
would
would
be
be
the
amazing.
most incredible play there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out if they start to both move at the same time or whatnot,
Yeah, I
which I'm
assume you
fine
have
with.
silver as well, so that would be fine.
Yep. What about let's say, do you follow oil, natural gas, anything, any comments there?
Yeah, I think natural gas is at a very interesting level actually. Um, I think I wrote out, when we were at these levels here, that I think, that gas was a crowded trade, and I actually think we could see a big reversal down to at least these lows here at 7.5 ish. But actually, right now we're all the way back to like 6.5. But just
Mm-hmm.
look at this support level right here. So I think that this will hold, and we will start to go sideways, and then we will start to grind back up again. Um,
Yep.
Again, it's energy. I mean, and we are in a big energy crisis. So why should gas go further down? I mean, the
I think I think
so
it could possibly go down a little bit more if it wanted to scare everybody out, have that one last hurrah, and then just rock it.
yeah,
The
because
slingshot cheetah
yeah,
mode.
exactly. There is a lot of shorts covering down here or
Yeah.
below this level for sure. So often they get taken out and then boom, we go.
Yeah, they'll
So
do a
I
doop,
agree.
boom,
Yeah,
scare everybody. Everybody's gonna say natural gas is done with. Go sell all your shares while finding value swoops in there and scoops them all up.
Yeah. I actually think, 1 cubic meter of gas here in Denmark is like, I have to do the math here, but at least $4 or so, $4 to $5 per cubic meter. So I don't know how much that is in your metrics, but
MMBTU. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how much that is, but I think prices in Denmark has gone up at least 4 times in the past year or
Mhm.
so. And in Germany, it's way worse. So
Yeah. Yeah. So positive, slightly positive on natural gas, maybe a little bit more grinding before moving on up. I agree with that though. I think the
yeah,
fall time frame's pretty weak, which is a perfect time, at least for myself, to pick up shares in my favorite natural gas companies.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yep. What else are you seeing in the markets? Anything else that so we've got I mean, to sum it up real quick, we've got a strong closing in the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust to the upside.
Yeah,
We've got some worries around the S&P 500, some worries around the Nasdaq, where we could blow out to the downside and kind of drag us all lower. We've got, I think, favorable area for precious metals
hmm
and for platinum, silver, gold. They're very low. We got that TYX, TNX that looks like it could potentially come up. I'm positive there. What else are you seeing in the markets? I know you have a lot of ratio charts that you post on um, on Twitter that are like crazy.
yeah. I
Very,
love
very.
ratios. I mean, I think they're very underused. Everyone seems to be looking at, something valued in dollars, but I think people miss out a lot on ratios. So, uh, so yeah, ratios. I love them, and this is the gold to silver ratio. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Also something that I tweeted today. I think this was more or less the first lower low that we have had in like 2 years, more or less 2 years, ever since the silver squeeze here in February 21.
Mm-hmm.
So this the a trend reversal is always more or less always started by a lower low. So let's hopefully see we get a lower high and then we start to roll over. And
That actually means something too, because if silver's outperforming gold, that means that we're turning on maybe this recessionary type stuff, right? Because usually in a
yeah,
recession, gold outperforms silver, and then when silver outperforms gold, usually it's a different market condition.
yeah,
That's how
exactly.
how I've always viewed it. Yep. And then
Yeah,
platinum usually takes off too.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And if you do a simple, FIB extension just to get a somewhat target, if this is the top right, then you can see the 100% move is down to like 32.
Ooh,
And if you
that's a good
see,
ratio.
yeah, it is, and also it aligns more or less perfect with the low here in 11 in back in
I
2011,
think that's
more or less.
I think that's a high probability actually.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
I do.
I do agree.
Nice big double bottom,
Yeah,
big bottom.
and and hopefully this is a 1, 2, 3, and then you get a bounce back, and then we get the big capitulation into in like six
Yep.
7 years time, where I think, as mentioned before, I hope and I think we can, intraday we will see, single digit gold and silver. I mean, just imagine what that would do to the gold miners and silver miners. I mean, that would be
What makes you think we're going to get that low though? Like what is that reasoning based off? Is it based off of like currency problems?
yeah,
Is it you think
exactly.
or okay, it's something like that? Because some people say it's right out of the earth at some ratio, or the inventory is above ground is a ratio of 2 to 1, two
hmm
2 ounces silver, 1 ounce gold. What I mean, some people they throw these crazy numbers out. I'm like, well, what exactly is the thesis? Oh, you could do a broad, yeah, it could be a megaphone wedge pattern
Yeah,
as well
exactly.
on that.
Yeah.
That
So
well,
like,
that's man, that'd be crazy if it did something like that. I hope it does. I'm good on silver.
yeah, I can imagine. I would like to
Yeah.
have more, right? But but right now I haven't got the funds to buy it because, as mentioned last time, just
Mm-hmm.
bought a house and so on. So yeah, I just need to get that in order, then I can start
Mm-hmm.
to rebuy again. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
man,
I
that's
I
crazy.
agree. It is currency related. Also, this as you mentioned, the what is it, like 8 to 1? I think they get out of
Yep.
the crust, right? So yeah. But
Yeah,
I
that's
think
crazy.
if you want to, I think many people will start to swap their silver to gold
Hmm.
at some point. And I don't think you should do that, when you get to those levels. I think you should do that way before, at like when we are at like 20-1 on the gold to silver ratio. Because these levels that we will get here down at the single digit hopefully will be in like 3 days or so. And so you should do that a bit earlier, I guess, if you want to do that swap.
Yeah, you're saying the duration of that staying there is going to be very short and small. Is what
Yeah,
you're saying,
exactly.
right? It'll be a
Exactly. Yeah,
blow off top or a spike in the ratio down. Yep.
exactly. Like this one here, right? It's like 4 weeks, so 3 weeks, right? So if everyone wants to swap silver to gold in that ratio at that ratio, you won't be able to get any gold. So you have to do it a bit early, I guess, if you want to do that.
Yeah, I tried swapping some palladium for silver at that time frame, but the premiums were so large, they like
Mm.
readjusted the premiums on me, and I was like, nah, I'd
Yeah,
rather have
exactly.
platinum.
Yeah, yeah. Good choice, I would say.
Yep.
So
What other
so yeah.
ratios? You have a lot of uranium ratios. I know we've got a lot of uranium viewers. What do you have for like uranium?
Yeah, I mean the most commonly used and also one that I think that people should look at every week, at least once, is the uranium to the metal itself, to the spot
Hmm.
price. And I had a lot of drawings on this earlier, but I have cleaned it all up. I do that once in a while. But uh,
Hmm.
but uh,
That's
but I mean,
URA to you. That's the URA ETF in relationship to the futures pricing.
yeah, exactly. And
Yep.
every time, the last two times we have gotten down to these levels here. I mean, that has been the turning point.
We
And
are
also
super cheap.
very cheap, very cheap. I mean,
Oh my goodness.
if everyone says, that the uranium bull market started, late 2020. And if you look right, that's right here. So you're basically getting, the valuations of the miners are the same right now compared to then. So you get the same value, let's say. So
Hmm.
basically, if you missed the first move up, you have a second chance again, uh, as mentioned previously as well. So yeah, it's a very good place to buy for sure.
What
Uh,
about the URA in relationship to you had to think NDX up there or something? That's Nasdaq, right?
yeah, that's Nasdaq. Yeah. So this is basically how uranium miners outperform the Nasdaq, and uh, and I think we are slowly turning, as you can see if you look at it's
Yeah.
absolutely it's. I have to go on log scale just to
Oh my goodness.
to get some sort of I mean that's absolutely insane, right? Since 2011, it's it's almost 100. It's let's say
Like
it's 100%, right? So it's it's so yeah, that's absolutely insane with regarding to how well the tech sector and has done for the past 10 years. It's
well, it's money flows coming from a disinflationary environment. In 2020, that bottomed and changed. And we can
mhm,
see it in
yeah,
this ratio here where uranium is starting to decouple from the NASDAQ. We can see that outperformance of uranium mining companies. And then I think that we are going to go all the way back up to the top there with uranium outperforming the NASDAQ.
yeah,
I really think that could happen. It could happen quicker than the fall too. So the way it fell, the time it took to fall, I think we could easily go up and meet the same ratio as it was at the beginning, and do it quicker. How much quicker, I don't know, but
no,
I think we're gonna like kind of go up and grind, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be like one day, boom, it's it's game on. So
yeah. And this I totally agree. And this red zone here for me, it's very simple way to put it, but for me this is the when we get above that and maybe hold it for a week or two, I think that will be the go. I mean, this will be the base for me, and then we have the stage two after that upwards. Um, but as you could see, we have had 10 years of clearly underperformance of uranium compared to tech. So it takes some time to turn the ship. Let's say you don't do that in like 2 weeks. So it takes time. But we clear this zone here for me, then we start to really see the big move up here. So
Yep. Well, that's awesome.
yeah, it is.
What about, do you have a uranium to platinum ratio by any chance?
Nope, but I can quickly. You want the spot price?
Yeah, you can do the futures pricing. That's fine. UX, give it a fair
A fair.
assessment. The URNM is going to blow it out of the water, I think.
Yeah. It's a log scale, that's why. So
uranium's outperforming platinum, but yeah, I guess platinum, it's about fairly valued, would you say?
yeah, it is. We don't have these major differences, you know. It's within reason, I guess. So these two are somewhat, when they are weak together. When they are strong together. So, but
It's good. It's good that they're both being strong together then.
yeah. So yeah, this is the green box for me, which is always where I think, as we see this 10 years of basing basically, and then we get the move up, and I think we'll get back to the top here.
Yep.
Where uranium will outperform platinum by, let's say, 100%.
And then platinum hopefully goes ballistic.
It will go up as well. Yeah,
Yep.
I totally agree.
Yep.
And that's also what it is kind of scary, right? Because I think, I think we can easily see 200 uranium in this cycle easily, and I think we can, if things get really tricky with regarding to supply for uranium, we can see double that easily as well. And then if platinum follows, right, platinum will do very well as well.
So that would be like you're calling for like a 10 or 12x from like a well, a little less, maybe like an 8x from where the uranium price is today.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that is where we're gonna hit, right? But I'm thinking, my bear case, let's say, is 200, and then anything from between 400, maybe even 500 will be the ultra bullish case. I have seen numbers, with regarding to above 1,000, maybe, but I'm not waiting for it, let's say. But
well,
if we get, yeah.
You've got so if the outperformance here is 118%, and you said that there's a probability of platinum going to $7,000, right?
Yeah.
So that would be a 7x on platinum, basically, right?
Yes.
7x, 8x. If this is doing a 118%, you'd multiply that by 2. So if it's a 7x, it'd be 1,415x potential in uranium from where we are today. So what's 15 times what we at? 50, 49?
Yeah, 50, that's 750. And that's also, the ratio here is 0.1. So if you have 7,000 platinum, you have 700 uranium. So
yep. So I think it's possible.
Yeah.
I think it's possible.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's the number, but it's definitely possible that it could be the number, using ratios at least in history to guide us.
Yeah, and that's what I like about ratios, is that it is not something that you just magically, I think it will go to 500. It's just looking back in time and see what are the ratios, and then just from there you can actually see where we could go if we are going, full on bull mode. So yeah, it would just be history repeating itself. So
one thing that I do think about is, under this environment in the world, back in 2000, 2008, we weren't in a full-blown energy crisis. We were in a it was a monetary inflationary period where money was rotating, swapping around. We also had a bunch more investment opportunities, like emerging markets was killing it at that time, and other areas were doing very well. So money was also being diverted to those areas. If you look now, it seems like everything's getting crushed but energy. And I think what's going to happen is money could rotate into fewer options that are working in an energy-constrained global world, which means that these ratios would actually blow out even more so, possibly to the upside versus some of these stocks and other areas. So
yeah, I totally agree.
Yep.
I have nothing more to add to that, so I totally
Yeah,
agree.
I know.
So it's
Because I
it's
if I mean if you're in Germany, I don't think they're going to be doing too hot this these next couple of years. I just don't. I think they're
no
going to
no
have some
no.
major problems.
Yeah, I really
And
hope that we will get a very warm winter this winter here and the next one, because if we get like, a somewhat very cold winter, that I mean people will get ruined because they can't pay their either you can pay your bills or you can freeze. I mean that's you have two options. I mean
yeah,
it's yeah it's very sad.
it's
It's very sad.
time to get
So
a gym membership and just go hang out at the gym all day and use their
yeah,
showers and
exactly.
shut the heat off at home and just go live at the gym.
Yeah, exactly. I go to the gym or to some sport, every Wednesday, and we joke about, that we only go take a shower once a week, and that's when we go to
Yes,
to the gym or
yes,
to the sport. So
that's
yeah,
right. That's right.
it's very expensive right now.
What
So
else are you seeing out in the markets? Anything else that you'd like to share?
uh, I think I think we came across some good topics, but the last one, I know it's a very bold call, but I think
Tell me
my
it's
drawings are.
topping. Tell me
Yeah,
it's
I think.
topping.
I mean, if you don't know that this is the dollar, right? I mean, you would look at this and say, I gotta sell my shares of this stock if we were at these levels. At least that I would do that, because the risk to reward here is just it doesn't make sense to hold the stock if it looks like this. So I'm quite possible that we are topping here, but
Yep.
as I mentioned before, it takes time to stop the momentum. So it could easily take like a year, let's say,
Yep.
where it just
Yep.
goes sideways or doing some head and shoulders, maybe.
It's
I don't know, but
yep.
it will take a year before it turns around.
It'll do like a double top. It'll do like a bunch of like loops. Just like in 2015, it'll do those
Yeah,
loops and then it'll fall down or something.
exactly. Yeah, we had this
Couple
very
couple
long,
down loops.
yeah, failed breakout and then back down. So we will see similar things, going choppy.
Yep.
And if you look up a chart of gold, right, this is exactly more or less where gold bottomed. So
Hmm.
when the dollar goes into this sideways motion, then that's also where you will see precious metals, gold and silver, bottom out and start to turning up again. So
That's good to know.
yeah,
At least I'm not the only I'm like a dollar bear at this time. Like
yeah,
I think it's pretty much done, but
yeah,
who knows? I've just been waiting for it to turn around. I would have said the same thing in July of 2022,
yeah,
but
same, same.
it kept going up.
Yeah, it did.
So
But actually a funny ratio, and that's also why I think this looks a lot more like a top than what it did in July, is that if you take the dollar and divide it by inflation, you can
mhm.
actually see, right, that this top here is the exact moment where, if I draw it quickly here, this
Mhm.
it's the exact moment where the dollar broke down, massively, when they started to do all this QE and all that good stuff.
Mhm.
So we are back to the exact same level from the breakdown here. And that's always a natural area or level to have a pause at least. So
Yeah,
you see that all
makes
the
sense.
time actually. So
Yep, wherever there's a large resistance. There's a lot of trading that happened all through 2019, 2018 as well,
yeah,
of that
so
choppiness, which is a bunch of selling pressure up there. So yeah, I think coming up into that, we're going to get a bunch of resistance.
yeah.
So
But then again, if I mean we if it keeps going, right, maybe it pauses for a year and then goes higher again. That can easily
mhm.
happen. Then we can still see the dollar, do like 10%. I mean, outperform inflation by 10%. And that is in currency and FX, that's a big move. 10% is a
Yep,
very big move. So
yep,
so yeah. So yeah, I think
makes
we're
sense.
topping out more or less in the dollar, and maybe go for maybe, yeah, pull back and then do whatever for like 2 years. And that's when gold and silver really starts
You
to
get
do
moving.
what, yeah, what
Yeah,
we've been waiting for like a year or two.
yeah, I
So
know. August 2020. That's
yeah,
the date.
yeah, it is. I remember I was at a vacation house exactly when it peaked out, and the week after was just a misery. So I remember those dates very well. So
All right, you have anything else to share?
uh no, I mean
Sa-
it
Save
was a
money by switching to Geico? I'm just
to
kidding.
what? Sorry.
There's that we have a commercial. They always have save money by switching to Geico insurance. He says that
Oh, okay.
over everything, but I know you're over in Denmark. You probably don't even have Geico insurance. They always say that.
No, I haven't heard of it. I haven't heard about it, so I don't think we have it. So
Yeah, I think Warren Buffett owns it.
oh really? Yeah.
I think so.
I think I have
So
one last
yeah,
I have one last question. It's a bit of a
mhm.
joke. I don't know about that. When we talk about natural gas, who do you think blew up the pipes here in Denmark? I don't know, but who do you think? You know, if you want to have a guess, I don't know.
I don't know. What are you guys thinking over there?
I mean, everyone thinks that it is Russia, but I think why should they do it? I mean, now they have no leverage towards Europe with regarding to the gas, so I don't
United
know. It's
States?
maybe,
I
maybe.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know who has it.
that was my first thought, let's say.
United
I,
States was?
yeah, because America or the United States. I hope I don't offend anyone, but I will say it
Oh,
anyway. Likes to have other countries rely on America, right? They want to be this like they want to be
Euro?
the big guy, and then they want to have all other countries being dependent on America. And I think that what they could start to see is that right now Europe is getting very dependent on Russia for the gas and oil and
Hmm.
so on. So they want to cut that link. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, could
So
be. It could be because we had explosions at our liquefied natural gas terminal in Freeport, which is ships
no, okay.
20%. And it was like, hey, we had this unexplained explosion, but I don't know what that is either. I don't know.
No,
We're getting all these
no.
explosions and stuff out of nowhere. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, we will
And
probably we will never find out, but yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, it was just a side note, I guess. But yeah.
yeah. So is that all you've got for
Yeah, I think
today?
so. I think so. I
Yeah.
think
So I don't have
we
much else. I don't have
quickly did
anything else there. So, well, thank you for coming on, Casper. Really appreciate it, guys. Do not forget to check out his Twitter at
oh
Uselink INV and go over there. We got to hit the 3,000 mark, go well and exceed it. That's okay too. So go over there and sign up and become a follower of his on Twitter. All right.
yes,
Well, thanks for,
please
yep.
do. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, Casper. Really appreciate it. Learned a lot and I love the charts that you do. So definitely go check out his charts. He posts them all the time on Twitter.
Yeah, maybe too often sometimes, but yeah.
All right. We'll catch everyone later, guys. See ya.
Bye guys.